Welcome into the Beat Sessions. I'm your host, Mitchell Weary. It is Friday, September 17th. I hope you all have an excellent weekend planned, and I'm sure for many of you, this next record will be involved with those plans. That is right. Lil Nas X has released Montero, his highly anticipated debut record. And I want to start this review by saying that of those highly anticipated records that have come out in 2021, I'd argue that many of them have been overhyped, bloated nonsense. Montero is not one of those records, though. I really dig this dude. Lil Nas X, very talented. His penchant for incorporating pop into his style of hip hop is just, it makes him exceptional. Reminds me a lot of The Weeknd. They differ, and I think that Lil Nas X has different influences that are driving his style. I'll talk about those shortly here. But this record is just 15 songs jam packed into 41 minutes. Super well done, very well produced. I am a fan. I will also argue that it was tough not to be skeptical leading up to this point. Old Town Road, solid track, very catchy, deserved all the accolades that it received. But it's been 2 years since that track was released. And I know it was part of an EP with like 6 other songs and the Billy Ray Cyrus remix. I never heard any media outlet or anyone I know personally talk about any of those other songs. So I thought he was treading that one-hit wonder territory. Then Montero comes out with the racy video, and my head just went immediately to Madonna and Like a Prayer, stirring the pot a little bit. And then he releases the Blood Shoes, and we're stirring the pot a little more. There's Satanism, his sexuality, all these things that, in my opinion, like don't even matter, A, but B, created a lot of hype and a lot of sensation. And frankly, for me, a lot for him to live up to. So was very curious about this record. Very pleased after listening to it. And talking about those influences, that pop influence, The Weeknd, stylistically, a lot of similarities there. But I would say he reminds me more of a combination of Kid Cudi and Andre 3000 with what he was doing on The Love Below. I love the ability to transition from singing to hip hop, big time R&B influence on this record, but also jazz, funk, lots of great different instrumentation, lots of great guitar riffs throughout this record as well. Is one of the things that I noticed and was very pleased with, and really just lends to his creativity and just him being a dynamic artist overall. Again, I really got more than I bargained for going into this thing, and I'm very pleased. Kicks off with the track Montero. We've all heard it. We've all seen the video, I think. It's a pretty quick track. I think it's like 2 minutes and 15 seconds or something like that. And then we get the rest of the record, which I think is a great play. It's one of the things that I've spoken about on this channel before is artists releasing a number of singles on an album. And, I like that I haven't heard the rest of this record and that the only thing I have heard is the 2-minute opener. Bang, leads right into Dead Right Now, which has this great jazzy trumpet piece that opens up, comes back in once the trap influence drops in the song, and it's just really well done. One of the things I noticed about this record and his style, he taps into old school influences, and there's very much a new school influence in a lot of these tracks. Industry Baby features Jack Harlow. I'm a big fan of Jack, loving the contemporary vibe of this track, and both of them just hot on the mic. Really just great flow, great rhyme schemes. Leads into That's What I Want. One of the other things I'm loving about this record is the way he's approaching his lyrical content, the way he writes his songs. This is really the only track where he flat out is talking about his sexuality, being into men. There's other lyrical hints in other songs. Industry Baby, the song before, there's a line that he drops about, not being into women and being queer. But what I love about his approach is that his songs really are about learning to overcome those self-esteem issues, learning to love yourself for who you are. Another big theme is just wanting to be loved. And no matter who you are, no matter what your sexual preference is, that's something that's universal. Everybody wants to be loved. Everybody wants to be accepted. And he writes about it in a way that I think no matter who you are, you'll relate to it. So kudos to this guy. I mean, really, just for a 22-year-old, has great perspective and handles these things lyrically very well with just a lot of eloquence. Very poetic dude. Very impressed. Then, I want to lead right into Scoop because we talk about, how eloquent and well put together this guy is. He's fun as hell, though. Scoop is fire. It features Doja Cat. She's fire on this record. Scoop! I love it. I absolutely love this track. One of Me is the following track. It features Elton John. And he's just breathing fire about the pressures of the industry, about the pressures of being a gay man in hip-hop. But again, handles it very well. It's more about just being a trailblazer and not wanting to live up to these stupid expectations that kind of go along with this old school image of of what has been laid down in hip hop. And I dig him for that reason. It's not necessarily about who he is, but more about just, again, being a trailblazer, blazing that path and just showing people that they can do things that they want with that freedom. And, the biggest thing is just learning to ignore the haters. Just, they're always going to be there. They're always going to try to put you down, and they're only going to succeed if you let them. So kudos to this cat for that. This thing, a couple other great tracks, Tales of Dominica, beautiful violin instrumentation there. It's got this muted galloping drum beat that drives it. Just a great track. The songs Sun Goes Down and Void, both of those really go together well as far as that theme of learning to love yourself and building that self-confidence. Loving the way that he's delivered that message. Life After Salem, amazing track. Your penultimate track has this phenomenal instrumentation. It's this almost kind of like big band influence that's driving this track a little bit, but there's so much else going on. It makes it so unique. It's one of the tracks that immediately after listening to, I was like, I cannot wait to see what this guy lays down in the future. Closes this thing off with I Am Dreaming. If you're going to blow up with Dad, why not do something with Miley? Why not let her close this thing out with you? A nice little duet with Miley Cyrus on I Am Dreaming to finish this record. Lil Nas X, well done. I'm going to vinyl please this record. I hope you all enjoy this project this weekend. I hope you find this review helpful. Please like this video and share it. Subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned for more album reviews, and we'll see you next time on the Beat Sessions.